hopefully, we don't have to deal with stuff like this. But everywhere in America, there are people like you that are dealing with stuff like this. And so let's talk about the parents for a moment and developing, having a second goal expectation program. Okay, coach's word over there, expectation. So here's some best practices, and maybe you're doing some of these already. Parent-guardian letter explaining the philosophy of the league, the expectations, volunteerism, treating others with respect, whatever your expectations is. PCA has a sample letter. It's not in the book. The book talks about it. It's part of our partner website. All of PCA's sample letters and our parent pledge are set up so that any league can just put their name on it, Xerox it off, and send it out if they want. But it's also set up as a template or a guide. So if you want to create your own, you have a sample to work off of. So that's a best practice. Parent pledge goes beyond that and asks the parents to sign a pledge of conduct and initial certain pieces of that pledge. Okay? Parent pledges are used everywhere. They don't eliminate all problems. None of these eliminate all problems. But the more of them you do, the less problems you tend to have. And when you do have problems, you have something to refer back to. Okay, remember, the parent pledge that you signed said that you will not confront an umpire over a call. Do you have signage at your wonderful facilities that encourage parents to behave a certain way? Okay, Santa Rosa North Little League, something like that, showed up for their coach workshop. It was on their ball fields, and behind every backstop, they had a sign that started with this sentence. I don't remember the whole sign, but I remember the first sentence. You are not watching a professional baseball game. And then it went on to say, there's a difference here. PCA has an Honor the Game card. Again, you can purchase them from PCA to distribute. We don't sell them because we're trying to make money. We sell them because if you want a ready-made product to distribute, and it's a simple one-pager on that can be passed out at the game with parent expectations. Hopefully every coach is having a meeting with the parents. You talked about your meeting. Hopefully, that is a best practice of coaches in youth sports, is you meet with the parents at some point in time, introduce yourself. This is my coaching philosophy. Here's the kind of experience I hope to have with your kids. Here's what you can do that will help. Here's what I'll ask you to stay away from because it doesn't help. It doesn't help when you yell at your son from the stands and tell him to run or throw it to first base. I want your son or daughter listening to and focused on their game and their coaches. So at PCA, we think that we have a wonderful second goal parent workshop. And the number one piece of feedback we get, because we ask for feedback for all our workshops and all our trainers, the number one piece of feedback we get from the parent workshop is all the parents should have been here. So if you mandate it, they may come kicking and screaming, but when they leave, they're going to thank you for doing it. Okay, and then your coach has got a copy of The Power of Double Goal Coaching. You've got this leadership book. We have a great book for parents called The Second Goal Parent, and that's an easy thing to get to them. It's harder to get people to come to a workshop, especially parents. Okay, but putting a book into their hands is easier. I'm not saying that it means they automatically read it, but that's easier than trying to get them to come to a workshop. So, of these ideas, which ones stand out as things that are helpful?
I like the signage at the
Signage?
at the field.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Where you said, remember, this is not a professional baseball game that you're watching or something.
If you remind me, I think I've got a picture of the sign in my cell phone or on my computer.
Yeah.
I'll try to pull it up for you.
I have a bunch too.
Respect beyond
They're
fire.
really
Oh,
good.
you know that?
Yeah.
No, I know.
Oh, sign, yeah, a bunch
He
of
sent me
signs.
a couple of, yeah, he
They
took
sent
some
a few.
pictures of.
Okay,
Yeah.
so signage, okay, what else?
I-
What do you think?
My experience has been that having a very well articulated preseason meeting with parents where you set the goals and expectations and you set the philosophy,
Are you talking about each team or?
each team
Okay,
is a tremendous help in avoiding issues mid-season.
okay. Now, this can be, I know you guys aren't looking for more work, but some organizations want to know when that meeting is happening and they have a board member present. In case the coach doesn't deliver the message that you want delivered, you guys step in and get the main points. You let the coach go, you
In the
know.
past, we've offered to have a board member attend those meetings, but it's not, it doesn't always work out.
Yeah, okay.
Certainly me just coaches.
Is it not taking
Well, that's a
that
step,
long, Jay?
even just offering is better than not
I mean, we
offering.
haven't offered it the last couple of years. I think for the most part, our coaches are pretty good about having their own meetings and,
Okay.
meeting, at least in the upper division groups.
Yeah, we encourage them to do it, we encourage the little guys to do it.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think I did.
Question with the parent workshop. I think it's a great idea. Are you more likely to get the parents to improve the parents that are already pretty good at a lot of these things, and less likely to get the parents that you really need to do the most work with to show up to the workshop?
Yeah, if you put on a parent workshop and let people know that it's happening and that it's gonna be good for the league and help us have a better experience, you're gonna get very few people show up. If you put on a parent workshop and you create some incentives, like, the team with the most parents gets a pizza party, or the team with the most parents gets, Sonoma Little League travel bags, you get more of them there. If you tie it in with an event that they're already at, and I don't know what that is for you, attendance goes way up, okay? And the other thing that makes attendance go way up is when you say, this is a required meeting. One parent from each family has to be there. That makes attendance go way up. The number one failure of PCA workshop is attendance. You know, and I mean, you can promote the heck out of it. You know, you can put advertisements on TV. Unless it's something they're already going to be at, or unless you make it mandatory, your attendance won't be that great. Yeah. Yeah. When I talked to Robert about the coaches workshop, I asked him how was the turnout, and he goes, well, it was required. And I said, and they came. I was thrilled because I know that that's what it takes.
It was a little bit more than required.
Well, do you know, the penalty was a 3-game suspension if you didn't.
Well, you had some teeth, and you know what? All right. Anything else from this list that we think is for Sonoma Little League? What about parent workshops? Not, maybe future years or?
That's tough.
It would have to be tied to, I mean, like, it would have to be super motivated to, I mean, it would have to be tied to, like, your son isn't eligible for tryouts until you attend, unless you attend this meeting, or it would have to be, honestly, to get their attention on it.
Yeah.
It would have to be something
Plus,
like that.
we're talking about a league of 400 players, so potentially 800 parents. That's a pretty big audience.
Which would be a fantastic dynamic experience for those parents. We just did a workshop in Denver, Colorado, 700 parents. We just did one. And you know,
Parents get taught on the other.
the more that are there, the better. Because I know I don't need this, but he needs it, and she needs it, and Mr. Smith, boy, he really, you know. So. Are you Smith?
That's my alias.
I gotta start using the others. Okay, anything else from this list that we want to add to our higher priority items?